really hard, and Hollywood specifically is like hard to just get out. You close those blinds and it's just a black box like 6 floors up in Hollywood. In LA it just feels like everyone's working and busy all the time. Rent was just stressing me out constantly. To spend probably 2 days a week there, I literally would sit in a like solo entrepreneur room and I would send like 1,000 emails a day out. Well, I'm coming out. Hey guys, I'm back. Maybe. No promises. This is not how I'm gonna sit the entire time. This feels so much like an interview. I can't. I am ready and I've been thinking about it for a while. Thinking about what I should come back with. Thinking about what video is gonna, you know, get everyone just like really wanting to click on that. Got all caught up and thinking that like it should be something super cool. And honestly, I was like, no, I should just be real. I should just come on here with my hair up. This boy just really popping out and just talk. Talk about my life, talk about things right now, talk about LA and why I am back at home and not in my small studio anymore. How I have space, so much room to do things down here in OC, better drivers everywhere, better food, better people, like my family, my loved ones. It's been really good. I just wanted to come and talk about that because I've been so MIA. I think the last video I posted was 6 months ago and there was not a reason why I stopped. I just stopped bringing the camera around, and then of course I moved out of my small little studio in Hollywood in September, in the beginning of September, and I packed up an entire trailer full of stuff and I came back home, and the plan was to come back home for a day. I thought I had a place and a roommate and everything lined up for the next day. I was supposed to move to Manhattan Beach area. We actually did not get approved for that apartment. I'm not really sure why. Who knows? But I think that everything really worked out the way it's supposed to. I'm like so happy and so okay with the way that things did work out. I just kind of want to talk about my experience in LA and Hollywood. So many people asked how it was, how I afforded it, how I liked living alone, just about Hollywood in general, and I never really got around to answering a ton of those questions. And to be completely honest with you guys, like I tried so hard to enjoy Hollywood. Like I wanted to love where I lived. I really like made a conscious effort to go out and like try to find coffee shops I liked and try to walk around and try and find hiking trails or workout classes that I absolutely loved. But at the end of the day, I didn't love it at all. I don't even know if I really liked it. Like it's so not a place that like was for me. I chose that place and that location because I had a best friend that lived there, and you know, we kind of split ways and didn't ever end up hanging out. So I spent a lot of time alone, and when you're living alone it's one thing, but when your job is alone, when you wake up and you go and you just work on your computer all day and you're sending emails, and then you are trying to get work, but then you realize that the work that you want to do through social media is not really a one-person job. The second person is needed for a lot of that job. It gets really hard, and that's when I started to like really grind on YouTube. I came out with so many fun videos last year when I first moved into that apartment, and I was always so excited to do YouTube because it was something that I could like put all my heart in, like just like 10 hours straight of editing a video, and like that felt really good to have something that kept me busy. Once I realized that like I really wanted to do more work like on social media and content creation, that I needed a second person, and I didn't ever have that. So it ended up getting super sad and lonely out there. There was a lot of times where I just felt like I didn't even know if I could work if I didn't have someone to help me shoot. And yeah, I was just doing my best to like keep pushing and keep making that rent and like doing one-off little ads at the time. And then this job just kind of fell into my lap. It's called fit modeling. Not a lot of people know about it. I had no idea what it was. I literally was like, okay, cool, like fitness, like workout clothes, I'm good at that. Turns out it's not workout clothes whatsoever. It's actually a fitting with designers, and you go in to your job and you literally are a human mannequin, essentially. They try on clothes on you, and that's my job. I got a DM one day from an agency I didn't even know I trusted, and I went in and I ended up with them and ended up booking jobs through them. And then 6 months later, in June, I was reached out to by another agency. So I do have 2 agencies where I do this fit modeling, and that was super exciting. It finally gave me an opportunity to like feel a lot more financial freedom because I had those jobs. Okay, now I can do more creative work where I'm not just doing work just to make my rent. I'm not just doing ads, or I'm not just like wearing the shoes or wearing the shirt like to make the rent. Like, I'm only shooting what I want to be shooting, and I'm like being creative, and like that really did bring like a new little life to me. But yeah, that kind of stopped YouTube for me. I kind of just spent a lot of time working, and I love to work, like no matter what it is. Like, that's why when I moved to LA with no job at all, I literally would sit in a like solo entrepreneur room and I would send like 1,000 emails a day. I would just like try and get work, and I like loved it. I love being busy. Like, in my head it just feels good to be busy, whether I'm moving, like exercising, traveling, or working. Like, it just feels good to like be busy in the mind. Laying around and like having rest days like aren't my thing. So it felt really good to have that job, because then it was like, okay, now there's like no off days. Now on the off days, like I'm doing social media and like I'm also working there. So that was really cool. But there was still definite times where I was driving back and forth, and I had the jobs in OC, but I was driving all the way back and forth to Hollywood just to like, because I was paying rent, so like I had to do it. But at the end of the day, it was like I was spending so much time back in OC the night before my job, so that my drive was even shorter, and I was loving it. I was coming home just for dinner, coming home to like make sure I could still talk to my parents for like 20 minutes before they went to bed. That just felt really nice to me. But then at the same time, yeah, like rent was just stressing me out constantly. I was always having to be back up there, and then if I left on the weekends, which I do most of the time, I was paying rent to spend probably 2 days a week there, which is crazy for what my rent was. Like, don't do that. Don't rent something if you're not, like, if you do the math and think about how many days you're gonna be there out of the month and kind of divide that by the rent, like, it's really crazy like how much you'll spend on just one night being there. Like, I did not realize that, and I did never think that like if I am committing to leasing, like I need to spend time there, or I need to get cheaper rent. Like, that's just something that I didn't really consider. I just really wanted like a safe place, and like I wanted to feel comfortable, I wanted to feel homey, I wanted to have a gym and a pool and all these like amenities. But yeah, at the end of the day, it didn't work out. I didn't renew that lease. And yeah, there was definitely times where like I was working so much that I started to like kind of overthink when I first got those jobs back in like January, February, that I wasn't giving myself those rest days. And if I ever did have a rest day, I was like not doing well. Like, I don't like to like not have anything to do. And if I didn't have friends to hang out with and all I was doing was like sitting in that studio, it made it really hard. And Hollywood specifically is like so hard to just get out. It feels like you have a window. Like, I'm 6 stories up, getting myself to just like go outside. Like, I never knew what to do, and I love to be outside, and I love to like hike and everything, and I know there was those things, but it just felt so weird to do them alone. I'm just gonna go down my elevator and drive around this insanely packed city where even if something's like a mile, it's probably gonna take me 30 minutes to drive it. It just didn't seem very like easy to get around and go places and be outside, and that like really got to me. It really just got me like to stay in my place. And I could work out in my building, and then I'd just go back up to my room, and like that was my day. And then I spent the rest of my time on my computer on my rest days. If I wasn't working, like I didn't never know what to do. If my friends were busy, there was just a lot of times where I felt like, oh, I don't even know who to reach out to anymore. Who's busy, who isn't working. Like in LA, it just feels like everyone's working and busy all the time. It's like at the end of the day, like I want to have like a girl gang that's like so supportive of each other, and like that I can constantly like be going to and hanging out with and like working together. And like that really got to me, because I was like, dang, do I have, like I had my girls, I had like my close friends, but if they were busy, I was just like, dang, like what do I do now? So it definitely got hard. I did find like therapy in those months, and I didn't like it. It was not, I don't know if it wasn't for me or if the specific therapist just wasn't for me, but it almost made things worse. I just felt like trying to like figure out what was wrong, like put me in a mindset that like there was something wrong, and I like really didn't want to feel like that. And I just always want to feel like everything's good. All I need to do is just like get out or find friends or get more work or whatever. And I didn't really find it helpful because it was always just trying to like dig down and like find problems. Like maybe things have happened in my life that like, yeah, make me feel lonely, but at the end of the day, like I was a 19, 20-year-old girl in Hollywood on the 6th floor of like not even a 1-bedroom, it was a studio, and you close those blinds and it's just a black box like 6 floors up in Hollywood. And like, yeah, walking on that street, like I didn't feel safe. No. I love to walk, and I'm like a very like independent woman who can like, if she needed to, but but like I did not feel safe. Like I would do it, like I had like a CVS down the street, like a coffee shop, a grocery store, but like I never felt safe. I was always just kind of like watching my back, or like, yeah, if I wore one thing on a hot day that was like too showy, I just felt so weird. Like catcalls all day long, not a fun environment, and not like honestly a young environment. Like you think LA is like such a young place. I always felt like I just didn't understand how there wasn't like just a bunch of the young social media, YouTube, and I don't know if that was just my building or what, but I just found that I just didn't really feel like I belonged. And I literally probably, yeah, had one friend, thank God, that lived right down the street, but that was it. And it was so hard to make friends. Like I would go to a coffee shop, but like I didn't ever, like I would try to have those random conversations and try to be outgoing and like make the first move and like talk to random people to like make those friends, but it just really didn't feel friendly. Like no one seems approachable on the streets for the most part. I would try to go to like a little bit better areas like Silver Lake, Echo Park, a little more homey towns, and people didn't feel approachable, and like I didn't make any friends. Like there was a couple people I reached out to over the course of living there over Instagram asking to meet up, and I had met a couple people that way, like a couple girls closer to my age doing more of what I was doing. But yeah, I was always finding myself just either like traveling, like leaving on the weekends, or going and staying at my parents' house during the week, or going to Venice to see Andy, my best friend, or my other best friend Aubrey down in Huntington. Like I was always just trying to go somewhere else because I didn't really have like anyone in that area that I was like my best friend, like my biggest support, or someone that can like shoot with me or work with me, or just, yeah, come sit in my room with me. Like, and I'm not a TV watcher, a movie watcher, anything, so it was just like such a weird time. And I'm so thankful I had so many opportunities to travel. I don't know like what I would have done if I didn't. I'm so thankful like that those jobs fell in my lap out of nowhere. Like I think it's such an insane blessing when I think about it, that those jobs did come out of nowhere, that they took that opportunity, even though I wasn't even sure what it was for. But yeah, I really do think everything happens for a reason, and I really do think that my apartment not getting approved happened for a reason. Yeah, I could easily be in that apartment with a new roommate right now, and that would obviously be lovely. It would be super nice, but for some reason like this season feels really good. I've never been like a super fall winter person. I'm such a big like sunshine, summer, like everywhere warm, humidity type person, and as soon as like it starts to get cloudy and rainy, I'm like don't really know what to do. I just cuddle up. I try to literally wear like the comfiest things I own every day because I'm just not really feeling it. But yeah, this year feels super different. It feels like I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I have more time now to save money and to not like have that constant weight on me and that constant stress that like there's a place that I'm paying a lot of money for that I have to go back to every night. Like it was like, honestly, that's not even safe. I just spent so many late nights or like really early mornings, like up on the road, like an hour and a half, 2-hour drives, like just not what I wanted to be doing. It's like a constant weight to be like, I'm all the way in Huntington and I have a job in OC the next day, but I have to go back to Hollywood just because I like need to grab my toothbrush. There were so many moments where I was like, why did I ever choose that? Why did I think that Hollywood was the place for me? But at the end of the day, like, I'm super happy I did it. Again, I think like I grew so much in that process, and I'm so happy I did find therapy and I tried it out when like things got hard for me. I'm happy I was able to go through like tough times, and I've always like kind of wish that I had like struggled a little more. That sounds weird, but like I've always grown up being like, dang, my life is so, like, all the time, like, my life is so good, like my life is like too good. I don't understand, like I just feel like super thankful all the time. I look at the world with like googly eyes all the time. This is crazy, life is weird, but then deep down I'm like, I kind of want to struggle because I want to grow and I want to be a better person. I want to be able to understand other people better and have a way more open mind to anything. So I'm super happy I went through that experience, and now I feel like I can relate a little bit more to like mental health. Finally feel like, yeah, my friends that have struggled in the past, like I understood finally where they're at. I never used to get it. I never used to understand depression or anxiety or like severe loneliness. I never used to get it, and I'm so happy now that I have like gone through that, to understand people, to have like a wider respect for everyone, and just knowing now that like we're all so different. We all grew up with completely different like scenarios, completely different situations. Not a single person like grew up with the same exact situations. Everyone's different. Everything you are as a human is just what you have grown up with, and it's so cool to like finally have that respect. Like you can't blame anyone for anything. I just feel like there's not even a reason to like get mad at anyone. Like they can't help what they came from and the experiences they've gone through to learn. I think obviously everything is always meant to be, and I'm really happy that I'm where I'm at now. It feels really good to like get back on YouTube and to talk and like be open about things, and I'm really hoping that this resonates well with people. I hope this doesn't seem like I'm like perfect in any way or trying to say that like everything's perfect now, but everything is good for sure. We are on month 2 now. Everything's still being in boxes in a trailer, and I can honestly say that I'm like not mad about it. Like I don't even mind it one bit. I'm not spending money on rent, but I am spending money on like new clothes and things that make me feel good, and like investing so much more into like healthy food and things that I've like kind of always wanted to buy. Like when I lived in Hollywood, I didn't shop once. Like I wore things that were sent to me or old clothes. I never shopped. I was like always on my saving. I am like a crazy saver. I don't like to spend money. It stresses me out. So I'm like, honestly, like if I'm not paying rent now, like let's like have a little bit of freedom. Like get the kale salad and the beet salad today. Who cares? But no, I think it's just like giving me a little bit more financial freedom, and that just like really takes a weight off my chest as well. I do still see myself moving, I think, in the near future, and as soon as I like find the perfect place and the perfect roommate and feel like the city is where I'm meant to be. I just don't know if that is LA anymore or right now. I'm not sure. Even when I go back to it now, I go back to it at least twice a week, either 2, 3, 4 times out of the week. I'm back in LA for work or for friends, or mostly work. I'm just like, I don't think this is the place for me. OC's so pretty everywhere I go. Nice people, open parking lots that are free space, and like this just feels so nice like to spread out. And honestly, I'm traveling so much still. I've been gone every single weekend since I've been home, like every weekend. This all just feels so good. I'm happy where I'm at. That's my update. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I would love to talk more on this topic. I would love to share more about my mental health, and I would love to just talk to you guys. So give it a thumbs up if you liked this style of video, me and my interview. I'm super happy to be back sharing more of my life and stories, and I'm super excited. I have a lot of ideas right now. Thank you for watching.
Well, I'm coming out into the light. Well, I'm coming out where they won't change.